Hi everyone, welcome to the Massage Tutor. My name is Joelle and this is my friend Sammy. And we are going to go over the quadricep muscles today. So the origins, the insertions, the actions, the bony landmarks, and of course the names of these beautiful muscles. I will be referencing this textbook, so of course every textbook is going to be a little bit different with its verbiage, its origins, its insertions, that kind of thing. So just so you know, this is the textbook that I will be referencing for the most part, just in case you wanted to get yourself a copy. If you don't already have one, this beautiful book, of course, you will absolutely love if you have never seen it before. So just to let you know. So quadricep muscles, I will be using a rubber band. I like to use a rubber band just to kind of give you a visual of how a muscle moves. When it contracts, of course, it's going to act on the joints that it is crossing. And just like a rubber band, a muscle can extend, it can get longer, and then return to its original size. So this will help give you a little bit of a visual of kind of how muscles move when they contract and how they move on joints. So the quadricep muscles, of course, the Quadriceps Femoris group, the four muscles of the femur, or that big, beautiful thigh bone. There's four of them, so sometimes, of course, we don't really put two and two together, but quadriceps, four muscles. They're going to be your vastus lateralis. So vastus lateralis, of course, is going to be on the lateral or outside of the leg. Vastus medialis, so of course, is going to be the medial or middle inside of that leg. Vastus intermedius, which is going to go down the middle of those two beautiful other vastus muscles, not quite down the center, a little off to the side, but we'll go over that. And then the rectus femoris, the longest of the quadricep muscles. So the rectus femoris, meaning straight down the femur. So all of these muscles are going to have the same insertion point, which kind of makes this a little bit simpler because we already have a lot to remember, of course. So the quadriceps femoris muscles are all going to insert on the tibial tuberosity via the patellar ligament. So there's this ligament that wraps around this beautiful patella, and then it goes down to the top of the tibia to this tibial tuberosity to help extend that knee. So all four, same insertion, tibial tuberosity via the patellar ligament. So beautiful ligament wraps around here, and then the little tendon will go down, or the ligament, excuse me, will go down and attach to that tibial tuberosity. So tibial tuberosity via the patellar ligament. Of course, a ligament, if you remember, attaches bone to bone. Ligaments, bone to bone, tendons, muscle to bone. Okay? So let's go over our four muscles. We'll start with the vastus lateralis. So the lateral side of that femur. So I will bring Sammy a little bit closer here, just so that we can get a better look at these bony landmarks on his body. So on the back of the femur here, we have what is referred to as the linea aspera. So the linea aspera is really just this bony ridge, let me get the back of the leg here, that goes down, I'm all cockeyed, right here, sorry guys, the bony ridge that goes down the center of that femur. So linea aspera, or rough line, goes down the center of the back of that femur. So the vastus lateralis is going to originate on the lateral lip of that vastus lateralis. Lateral. It's all lateral, guys. So vastus lateralis, and then we're gonna go up a little bit. There's a little bit of a bump here, the gluteal tuberosity, and then of course the greater trochanter. So those are the three origins of the vastus lateralis muscle. Lateral lip of the linea aspera, gluteal tuberosity, greater trochanter. And then of course he's going to come around and he's going to insert with the rest of his friends tibial tuberosity via that patellar ligament. So let's take a look here to see kind of what he looks like on the body. So vastus lateralis, origin, lateral linea aspera, gluteal tuberosity, the greater trochanter, like so. And then he's going to wrap around here. and attached to the tibia via that patellar ligament. So he's crossing that knee joint, or that tibiofemoral joint, tibia and femur joint. So tibiofemoral joint, he's going to be crossing over that beautiful knee joint all the way from this lateral side of the thigh and down here. So the only joint he's crossing is that knee joint. So when he contracts, he's going to cause movement on that joint. When a muscle contracts, you're going to bring the insertion closer to the origin. So insertion closer towards the origin. So he's going to extend that knee, and your movements of the body can be a little bit confusing. I know for my massage students, that was one of the more kind of confusing things to learn, was the movements of the body, the actions of the body. Of course, we have so many things that we're learning. It's just one more beautiful thing to learn. So flexion of the knee would bend the knees as so, and it's going to stretch or lengthen all of those quadricep muscles. So when those muscles contract and shorten, they're going to cause extension of that knee. So again, just to kind of give you a visual with the rubber band, it's going to stretch when those muscles are lengthened, right? And then when we shorten those muscles, we're going to bring insertion closer towards origin. Insertion towards origin causes extension of that knee. So that muscle shortens, brings this insertion closer to this origin. Lengthen of the muscle, and then contract and shorten and extend the knee. Extension of the knee. So then we have vastus medialis. So vastus medialis is kind of like his big brother vastus lateralis, where he's also going to originate on that linea aspera. But this time, of course, he's going to originate on the medial lip, or the inside lip of that linea aspera. So medial lip of the linea aspera, and then again he's going to insert on the tibial tuberosity via that patellar ligament. So just like the rest of them. Remember guys, all 4 quadricep muscles are going to insert on the tibial tuberosity via that patellar ligament and cause extension of that knee. Extension of the knees, okay? So vastus medialis, medial lip of the linea aspera, inserts on the tibial tuberosity via the patellar ligament, extension of that knee, bringing that insertion closer towards that origin, extension of the knee, as so. And then we have vastus intermedius. So vastus intermedius is going to be in between his big brothers vastus lateralis and vastus medialis. Now he's not quite down the center front of the bone here. He's a little off to the side. So he's going to be down the anterior lateral shaft of the femur. We have anterior, front, lateral, the outside here, and then kind of in between there, the anterior lateral shaft of the femur. Vastus intermedius, in between, okay? He's gonna be sandwiched in between these two guys and deep to these two beautiful muscles here. So vastus intermedius is the anterior lateral shaft of the femur, and of course, insertion, tibial tuberosity via the patellar ligament. And let's just take a little bit closer look here at that tibial tuberosity. So that big knobby bump there. And if you feel on your own leg right below your tibia or your patella, you'll feel that nice bump there at the top of your shin, the top of your tibia. That's your tibial tuberosity. So again, vastus intermedius, in between the anterior lateral shaft and all the way down around that patella and to insert onto that top of your tibia, tibial tuberosity. He's crossing one joint. We're bringing that joint or that origin, or that insertion closer to that origin. So of course we're going to, again, extend the knee. Extension of the knee. So again, all 4 quadriceps are going to insert in the same place. Tibial tuberosity via the patellar ligament, and they're all going to extend that knee. Bring that insertion closer to that origin. Extension of the knee, right? So we have flexion of the knee and then extension of the knee. All 4 quadriceps extend the knee. So then we have rectus femoris, the longest of the quadricep muscles. So rectus meaning straight, femoris, femur. So straight down the femur. Rectus femoris is longer, and therefore he's going to start up here on the pelvis. So on the pelvis, you have the spine of your pelvis here. So I'm going to bring Sammy a little bit closer for you to see a little bit better. So we have these two beautiful nubs right here. So anterior, front of the body, superior, top, and then inferior, bottom. So anterior, superior, iliac spine, and then the anterior, inferior iliac spine. So the spine or ridgy part here of the pelvis, we have our superior, higher, inferior, lower of the spine. So anterior, inferior, iliac spine is where he's going to originate. Therefore, the rectus femoris is going to cross two joints. He's going to cross this hip joint here, and he's also going to cross the knee joint with the rest of his buddies there, the vastuses. So rectus femoris, he's going to be a little bit longer. We're going to start a little bit higher. Anterior, inferior, iliac spine, all the way down, of course, to that tibial tuberosity via the patellar ligament. So by way of the ligament that surrounds your patella. So anterior, inferior, iliac spine, little bump there. Now if you touch your hip bones, you'll feel this guy here, this superior iliac spine. And if you go down a little bit, that's where you'll find this beautiful little inferior iliac spine on yourself or on your classmate perhaps. So again, anterior, inferior iliac spine, all the way down to the tibial tuberosity via the patellar ligament. So now we're crossing two joints, therefore we need to move two joints when this muscle contracts or shortens. So when the rectus femoris is going to contract and shorten, he's going to cause flexion of the hip, sorry Sammy, flexion of the hip, and then extension of the knee. Extension of the knee and flexion of the hip. Again, we're bringing insertion towards the origin. So we have to move two joints. Flexion of the hip and then extension of the knee. So on your body, you'll see that that muscle is going to cross all the way from up here, go all the way down to your knee. We'll go this way here so you can see a little bit better. So flexion of the hip, extension of the knee, insertion towards origin, insertion towards origin. Okay, so again, this would lengthen the quadricep muscle. This is going to lengthen all of the quadricep muscles, and if you extend your hip back a little bit more, then you're really extending even more into that rectus femoris muscle as well. So rectus femoris is going to help flex that hip. All four quadriceps, vastus lateralis, vastus medialis, vastus intermedius, and your rectus femoris are going to extend that knee. These muscles shorten, they contract, and they move those joints that they're crossing. So rectus femoris flexes the hip, all four quadriceps extend the knee. All four quadriceps are also going to insert on that nice little bump there below your patella, the tibial tuberosity, via that patellar ligament. So remember again, a ligament is going to attach bone to bone, okay? All right, guys, if there's anything else that you would love to see that you don't see on my channel, please feel free to drop me a comment, like and subscribe if this is something that you enjoy watching, and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you guys, and good luck with everything.